All right, let's do it live on a First Friday Miracle edition of Cleveland Browns Daily. I am merely Bo. He is the great Z, and it is the first Friday of the NFL season. Tomorrow, we got football, baby. We got football. The great Podes is he's on
the mend. He's on the mend.
He's improving. He looks great. He always does.
He's on the mend.
How you living on a First Friday?
I'm great.
Buddy?
You look to me like you should be on a yacht in Cape Cod, Martha's Vineyard.
I was trying to find the right mood for today.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I threw on a couple of polos, and I thought it was a little cooler than it was. So I was perusing the closet, and then I landed in the button-up realm, that portion of the closet, and I'm not in there much. Used to live in that world a lot.
A lot.
In the TV world, I was in that world every day. I was
Not
in
anymore.
that world. Now I'm not. So I was in the sports shirt button-up realm, that little part, and I said, you know what? It's been a minute. Let's break one out. So that's what we went with.
You look fantastic.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I do or not, but it's
You
look
look
it's a choice.
fantastic.
It's a choice.
It is a choice.
You ready for this, Doc? We got NFL football tomorrow.
Thank goodness.
Fantasy lineup set.
Thank
Get everything locked in.
Yes. Thank goodness. Yes, I am quite ready. As a matter of fact, I couldn't be more ready. Let's go already.
Yeah, it's
It feels like we were talking about. It felt like an incredibly long off season. It really just did. And training camp and all of it, it's like, all right, please, let's go.
I don't think there's any doubt that in training camp for us took so many twists and turns, and what we ended up with was much different than what the intent was, and a very different football team. I do think that this is going to be a very fun team to watch. Because of Joe and because Isaiah Bond paratroops in, and as we've talked about a bunch of times, and we get a number change with Harold Fannin, and so him in the mix is going to be fun. But I'm just very curious to see about how we go about our business on Sunday. Look at Dr. J.
Jeez.
Or the G-Man. Look at those two back there. You can't ask for better. You can't ask for better humans.
Bailey Zappi.
There's a Bailey
there
Zappi.
he is.
There's a Joe Flacco.
There's Joe.
There's Dylan in the 8. He's got a back plate as well.
Yeah, and how about Harold Fannin? How about Harold Fannin?
88 to 40 or 88 to
Back
44.
to 44.
I get it. I like the 88.
Why do you get it? What's the problem?
I don't know.
It
I
was
like
a
the
college
tight
number.
end number. I thought it was a good tight end number.
44,
is.
Dallas
88.
Clark.
88's a good number for me.
I do. I'm with you.
88's a strong number.
I
88's
get
a
the
great
44
yeah.
BG. I
Is
like
44
the
a big number at Bowling Green?
He wore it.
No, I know that, but is it like a number that is like if the great players wear it or something or no?
None.
Okay.
I have no idea.
This looks good, man.
Look at this mesmerizing footage right
It really
here.
is. That orange
See?
really pops.
Send him out.
Look at that.
Stepping up the game
I don't
a little
know.
bit
This
here.
reminded me of something.
Brendan
This
Bates.
was this had to be like your very early tenure here.
Okay.
I was still down in Columbus, and I was hosting wall-to-wall sports on the CBS affiliate WBNS down there, and it was we had half-hour shows Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night, and we had a partnership because we're the preseason home of the Browns, and I think Kevin Griffin was here at the time, and there was some sort of a mutual. Everybody knew Kevin, and Kevin was working hard in the Columbus market and all those things. And so one of the things they proposed to us is, well, how would you feel about training camp reports done by the Browns for us? And they'll do custom outs for it. And we were like, yeah. I mean, we got an hour and 15 minutes of content every weekend that we got to fill.
Sure.
Huge Browns fan base down there. Let's take it.
Let's
do it. Absolutely. And so the first time we got it, the handsome devil on the other side of the camera was yours truly, you.
That's right.
You were the guy.
I remember.
And
remember it well.
And you would do a custom out, Nathan Zagura for the Cleveland Browns, Nathan Zagura, wall-to-wall sports.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
It was
Channel
I
10
remember
wall-to-wall
yeah.
sports, yeah. So you would send it out. And this is funny, especially knowing you now the way that I do. And I don't know if there was ever anything to this, and I don't know what made me think of this right now other than seeing them in the orange.
That's Harold Fannin, by the way.
But it was right before they did the uniform switch, and I just noticed like several weeks in a row you would talk about the quarterbacks in those gorgeous orange uniforms. Like that was the phrasing you would use. Do you remember this at all?
No.
It was just accidental. Okay.
Yeah.
So I took that as because I'm like, there's got to be a reason. He keeps referencing this gorgeous orange uniform that the quarterbacks are wearing. I'm like, are they going to go as orange as a primary uniform?
They did.
Yeah.
But not.
No, it wasn't. No, and as I come to find out when I was here, the uniform thing was a ruse,
duped,
a cruel ruse, really cruel ruse.
Yeah, it's cruel.
Bunch of cruds.
Yeah,
and there was nothing to it. But you did it like 3 weeks in a row. I'll never forget it. It was in camp, and you did it 3 times in a row. I'm like, they must be getting new uniforms.
What year was it? 14.
I would say this is like 13 or 14, something like that.
Yeah, and maybe at that time we were doing practices in the morning. And Pet had like these cool camouflage uniforms that whichever side won the day got to wear camo unis in practice.
Okay, I would
That's
say
all I can remember.
So in 15, the Browns did that open practice at the Shoe.
Yep, I was down there with Wilhelm.
At that point, Pryor was still. I remember I still have the live shot from
that. Was his first time back.
That was Pryor's first time back in the Shoe, and he really wasn't allowed because he had a show cause. He was supposed to stay out. So he had like a thing where he couldn't even be on campus. So they had to get like a waiver because the Browns were on campus.
I'm pretty sure he hurt his hammy that day.
I remember him walking out and he signed some autographs and stuff. I remember that vividly. And
it was hot.
It was really hot, steaming hot. The other thing I remember was like Urban talking to Jimmy and that dialogue happening. And everybody was like, oh my gosh, are the Haslams going to take Urban from Ohio State? Like all of those things. Like there was that's what I remember about it. But when I saw that orange jersey, I thought of that when you would say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I would. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That I was tossing.
We didn't
know each other,
know.
and I was tossing. That's 11, 12 years ago, something like that. Practice today. The install day slated to wrap up here in the next 15 minutes or so. Everyone on the field is practicing except Mike Hall on that side of things. Kevin was asked about myriad things in his presser. We'll have some of the highlights of that for you coming up here in a few minutes. And as we did mention, another number change. Harold Fannin Jr. goes from 88 to 44. We're 44 at Bowling Green, of course. So inching closer to Cincinnati. On the Bengals side of things, Bengals head coach Zach Taylor doesn't expect anyone to be limited today at Bengals practice. This last bit here that you have in this opening segment was incredibly troubling to me this morning because I am probably as loyal a Red Zone subscriber as you're going to find.
Yeah.
As long as I've had the ability to get the NFL Red Zone, I've gotten it. So I don't know, 20 years. And there was early on, the first time I got it was Siciliano because it was DirecTV.
Yep.
And I didn't even know Hanson existed because I was DirecTV in the old days. I didn't know Hanson existed.
Same.
And then when I moved to Ohio, we went at the time Time Warner, I think, and now it's Spectrum, whatever it was. So we went that way, and then I realized Hanson existed. So then there were two. So you had this Red Zone operation. And today on McAfee, Hanson's on McAfee, and he does the intro to the Red Zone, but he says 7 hours of Red Zone football starts now. And as anyone who watches Red Zone knows, normally he says 7 hours of uninterrupted football starts now. We're getting commercials on the Red Zone.
Yeah.
That's tough.
It doesn't make sense to me that unless all 4 games are in commercial – or all 7 games are in commercial, which happens from time to time.
So rare, though, even, yeah.
In the afternoon window, it happens.
Yeah, for sure. See, you're mostly at 1 o'clock, so you're doing our games. So
I don't watch at 1.
You haven't lived in the 1 o'clock heaven as much as I do.
Is there any chance that's like an in-picture, like a side-by-side? Or
it's not, because they've done that before, so they're going to go to full commercial breaks is what they're going to do. And
woof.
Yeah. This is part of a bigger, I think, really troubling thing that's happened in that when you first paid for a Netflix subscription or a Amazon subscription or whatever, the whole point of it was like HBO. Okay, I don't have commercials because I'm paying you for this. This isn't over the air. Over air, fine. Got to be commercials. But I'm paying you for the content.
Yes.
So once I pay for the content, then I don't need commercials.
That's right.
And the reality is that they're sneaking these commercials in everything unless you pay for the upgrades on the certain platforms. You have to pay for the commercial-free one that's an even more per-month price that you get dinged with. And so I don't think that there's anything worse than watching a sporting event that you really care about in a world where you have to sit there through all of it and not be able to bounce around. Like that, I have to deal with Peacock a lot on the Buckeye side of things. They got a game against Ohio in 2 weeks at night that's on Peacock. Like you're just in that.
You're stuck.
You're in that portal and you're not going anywhere.
Yeah. I mean, I think that if they want to do where there's like a commercial, but they still keep the action going, like in a, like they call it playing through on some of the golf broadcasts.
They're saying they're not. That
it's going to go full commercial.
Full commercial.
That's garbage.
Saying. Yeah, it's tough, and you're paying for it.
You're paying right.
I'm paying the money for it.
Right.
And quite honestly, I'd pay more.
Well, then that's what they're going to do most.
So fine, then offer that.
Yeah.
Offer it. Andrew's busy with us now, but get somebody else to do a commercial-free version of it, and charge more. Yep. Whatever it does to make it be right. Like now, I think it's like $10 a month or something like that for Red Zone is what it is in the NFL season.
If that's
so, pay $20.
You pay $20. Yeah,
fine, double it.
Yeah,
I'll be happy to do it.
Happy to do it.
But that's disappointing. That was disappointing to see that news today because I do enjoy watching our game on the primary and then having the Red Zone on the second television to be able to monitor everything else that's happening around the league.
Yep.
And for what we do, for me, it's invaluable to be able to do it. What do you expect us to look like Sunday?
What do I expect?
The approach with this Cincinnati team. We'll break down Cincinnati in a second.
We're going to have to score. I mean, it's a game that you would have to, in your mind, I would think, you feel like, okay, we're going to have to score some points. Now, the Browns, in this matchup have won 6 of the last 10 games, but the Bengals have won 4 of the last 5. And so when you look at kind of the history of these games here, when the Browns have won, here's the scores in which the Browns won in 20, 35-30, 37-34, 41-16, 21-16, 32-13, and 24-3. So in every game in which you have won, and I'm going to go back even further, the last time the Browns won a game against the Cincinnati Bengals in which they did not score 21 or more points was 2013. They won 17-6 that game. Other than that, every win they've had to score. And in recent history, since Baker was here and then soon thereafter Joe Burrow was there, for the Browns to win, you're talking about you're averaging darn near 30 points a game. And now in the losses in this span, because there have been 4, you scored 10, 14, 14, and 6. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty obvious if you want to win this game, you've got to score. That's the simple math of it.
Yeah, and it's going to need to start with a 2 minimum is kind of the way that it's going to have to be. The other thing that makes this one, there's so many things that make this different from other ones, but this Cincinnati team, because of what happened to them a year ago, and because they know that they're 1-9 in the first 2 weeks under Burrow, and they're looking at Cleveland, Jacksonville to open it, there's must-win silly. It's a 17-game season. But I guarantee you anybody in Cincinnati is chalking those up as dubs, that they're winning the first 2 games and they're getting off to a 2-0 start because they'll be damned if what's going to happen to them happened last year.
They've gone 0-2. They're the first team in NFL history to go 0-2 in 3 straight seasons, finish the season with a winning record, and twice in 2 of those 3 seasons they don't make the playoffs.
It's just a total waste of seasons.
Total waste.
Total.
Well, they've changed it up this year. You know what I mean? They've changed up what they were doing. They changed up their preseason approach. And they're hoping that makes a difference. So, by the way, the Browns average in their 6 wins 31.6 points per game in the last 10 against Bengals, and in their 4 losses, 24-38, they've averaged 11 points per game in losses.
Yeah. That's a pretty wide gap there, brother.
Well, it feels like you need to score. That's how you're going to win this game. In fact, some of the games you've won, the Bengals have scored 30, they've scored 34. You need to score to beat this football team. So I think look, sometimes your best defense is a good offense in the sense of keeping Joe Burrow and company off the field.
Yeah.
But I think you're going to take shots with Joe Flacco. We went through it yesterday. Since 2023, Joe Flacco leads the league in passing yards and passing touchdowns per game.
Yep.
Joe Burrow's 3rd in passing yards, tied with Flacco in passing touchdowns per game. I mean, Burrow's coming off of a season in which he led the NFL in pass attempts, pass completions, passing yards, and passing touchdowns.
Pretty good, yeah.
It's the first time ever a team has had the NFL's leader in passing yards, passing touchdowns, completions, passing yards, passing touchdowns, receptions, receiving yards, receiving touchdowns, and sacks on the same team. Right, he didn't make the playoffs.
No, did not. No. If he makes the playoffs, he probably wins MVP. If they make the playoffs last year, he probably wins it.
By the way, going through there, I mean, this is not – Mike Hilton's gone out of the secondary. Their leading tackler was Jermaine Pratt. He's gone at linebacker and replaced by a second-rounder, Demetrius Knight out of South Carolina, who his numbers weren't like crazy.
Yep.
He had like 82 tackles, which doesn't seem that nuts. Sam Hubbard's gone, so they've lost
retired,
a principal player at all three levels. And DJ Reader's gone.
Yeah.
So
I know. It's not just
a
the
bad
Henderson
defense.
Thing,
A bad defense has gotten, I think, appreciably worse.
Yeah, they're going to bank on 4 or 5 plays a game. Hendrickson does something in a key moment, or Shamar Stewart comes along. But that's what you're banking on. You're banking on they are the Dan Marino Miami Dolphins. For the old school kids, they're the Warren Moon Houston Oilers.
Yep.
You know, I mean, they're the greatest show on turf with the Rams. Like, they're going to score in the 30s. They're going to be trying to be comfortable winning games where the opposition scores in the high 20s, and that's going to be their MO. They're just going to try to outscore you.
Yep.
They're going to be a ton of fun to watch along the way because every game they play in is going to be an up and down game.
Yep.
From a fantasy perspective, all of their guys are going to get drafted high, but then watch the teams they're playing against, including us in week 1. You're going to be able to move the ball on them.
There's
no doubt. In a big way. They can't cover all of it. They just don't have the personnel for it.
They can't cover all of it.
No.
They've got, I mean, outside of Hendrickson, you don't have a single person on this team that had more than 5 sacks last year. Here's a crazy one, and I'm sure you are aware of this. Miles Murphy, who they drafted in the first round in 2023, in 30 games has 3 sacks in his career. Shamar Stewart, they drafted in the first round this year, who is a crazy athlete, but
not production at Texas A&M.
1.5 sacks a year for 3 straight years. Never more than that. Like, at some point, you have to say to yourself, why can't you do it at that level?
Yeah, I agree.
Dax Hill played really well 2 years ago. Got injured last year. He's back. Geno Stone's a veteran who's got 11 picks the last 2 years. Cam Taylor-Britt had a solid year in some respects. 3 picks, 16 passes defensed. But he gave up 10 touchdowns in coverage, most in the NFL.
Yeah.
DJ Turner on the other side had a solid second season, but nothing spectacular. He still doesn't have an interception in the NFL. This is a defense that we know struggled mightily a year ago, but that you got to feel like if you're the Cleveland Browns, you have got to be able to put points up on this team, and you're going to need to put points. They were a bad red zone defense. Now, we don't know what necessarily that's going to look like this year, right? Because Al Golden is here. Lou Anarumo is gone. Al Golden's been a collegiate coordinator. He was at Notre Dame, the team that went to the –
He was the head coach at Miami. Then he was the D coordinator at Notre Dame when they played the national title game last year. Yeah.
So we don't know necessarily what changes that's going to bring, but this is not a defense that scares anybody, nor should it. And it's a defense that we should score on. And then the key is going to be, limiting some of the Bengals' possessions to 3s instead of 7s.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. That's going to be the map of this thing. I'm really curious from our perspective offensively what kind of the split is with Jerome Ford and Sampson. We're here on it's a first Friday, so Quinshon Judkins ain't walking through that door at this point, I wouldn't think. So you're going to be living in that world with those two guys. What does that split look like? We know Jerome can do it, but for, not having Judkins is a big miss. And because of that, stylistically, you're a little bit different in the run game. So I'll be very curious to see what that split looks like for our offense, for Kevin on Sunday.
I really think it's going to be a lot of Dylan Sampson, a lot of Jerome Ford, and I think you're going to get some of that of Rocket Sanders mixed in as well, whom the Browns signed out of undrafted free agent with the Chargers out of South Carolina, who is big and strong and fast. And, I think he's going to be your – there's a possibility he's your goal line back here in week 1.
Yeah.
Guy who just joined this football team handling the football in the most high-leverage situations you could possibly have. So this Quinshon thing, by the way, just needs to be resolved.
It's a mess, man.
It is a mess.
This long to be sitting here now What did you say? That was Eagles weeks. This is the third week of this.
And here's the other thing, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but I don't believe I am. Like, if the NFL is going to get involved in these situations, like, do it quickly. Do it with some, be like, okay, here's what happened. Not getting charged. There's conflicting evidence. We still want to punish the guy.
Yeah.
2 games. But just come out and do it. Whatever it is, just do it.
And we'll move on. Everybody will
move on. But just do it. Yeah. What are we waiting on?
Yeah. No, I'm with you. But it's hanging over
the whole
everything, the whole operation. It's kind of hanging over it, and it makes it very, very difficult to kind of deal with it. All right, there you go. Those are your hot topics today, presented by University Hospitals, official healthcare partner of your Cleveland Browns. Coming up next, Coach Stefanski was available earlier today. We will have some of the highlights of that for you coming up next. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Add more fun to your fandom with the Bally Bet Sportsbook app. Download today. Get 50 back in bonus bets. You place your first wager of 10 or more. Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Availability from earlier today. Let's start with Coach Stefanski on how big of a test DeJuan Jones is going to face on Sunday.
Yeah, huge test. Obviously, Trey Hendrickson lines up over there quite a bit. He can line up anywhere, but he led the league in sacks for a reason. His motor, he never stops, and he's powerful. He's got speed. He can bend. He can play the run. So he's really a do-it-all player. It's never going to be about one person blocking one person. This game does come down to matchups quite a bit, but it's really incumbent on everybody to be about their business when you're going up against a rusher like that.
Big picture, just a massive year for DeJuan. Massive. I mean, he's the only guy under contract, as you've pointed out multiple times, for next year. You hope against hope that we talk about that lottery ticket with the quarterbacks. DeJuan Jones is a lottery ticket tackle.
Yeah.
And if he cashes in on that, and if he can just stay healthy, because when he's on the field, it's all of that, then that is one less thing to worry about next year.
Yes, it is it's critical, in fact, that DeJuan Jones is the guy that we've seen him be. We've gotten glimpses of it against the best rushers in the NFL. I think you're going to have a plan. There's going to have to be some chipping. That's just what you do when you play guys of that ilk. And especially with the way that their team is set up, it's not like there's a ton of other guys you're really, really worried about as big-time pass rushers. Joseph Osai last year had a career-high 5 sacks. Miles Murphy had 0 last year. Chris Jenkins Jr. had 3. B.J. Hill had 3. They bring in T.J. Slayton to start from Green Bay, who's a 340-pounder that's got 2 sacks in 68 games. Like, this is not a pass rushing front. It really just isn't. And so I would like to think everybody else on our line, if you just said if he's going to line up over DeJuan or Conklin, you double them, everybody else goes one-on-one, I think you'll be pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you have time to throw, I think you're going to have time to shred the secondary.
It's shreddable. That's for sure. Offensively, the Bengals are a very different story than defensively, and that comes with some challenges. Denzel and Newsome, Chase and Higgins. Here's Coach Stefanski on that.
It's never about one person stopping one person. They're a great team. We have to focus obviously on them and have their respect. And we also have to be about our business. We have to play with great fundamentals, play great team defense. And as you know, this is the NFL. Guys love matchups like this. They love when there's great players across the field from them. So that's what our league is built upon.
I wish that it was like the old days and you'd get Dion opposite Jerry Rice for the afternoon.
Or they would just follow.
Follow. Most famous
fun.
One of those was Dion and Andre Rison, which ended in fisticuffs, which was incredible.
Bad Moon Rison.
But Denzel against Jamar Chase is my favorite mano-a-mano matchup in the NFL.
Yeah, and I got a chance to talk to Denzel earlier
I think we'll
today,
play that,
and we'll hear from that. Yeah, he loves it. He loves the challenge of it. Now, you got a real challenge here. There were 4 receivers in the National Football League last year that had 75 or more catches and 10 or more touchdowns, 4 of them. Justin Jefferson, Brian Thomas, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. Now, T. Higgins did that in, I want to say, 12 games. 12 games
for the G.
12 games. So he had more than 70. It's more than 70 and 10 touchdowns, and he did that. And so, by the way, he led the NFL, T. Higgins, with 7 touchdowns from Week 11 on last year. Led the National Football League. So they are a handful. They are different stylistically. They give you all the things that you want. This is going to be it's a tough task, and that's why I said you got to hope that pass rush on some third downs forces some 7s into 3s. Try not to give up the big play. Make them the more plays they run, the more chances our defensive line, I think, has a chance to get after their offensive line. This is an offensive line that's starting Orlando Brown at left tackle is a 4-time Pro Bowler, but all of those were with KC. He's not been a Pro Bowler in Cincy. They're starting, I think, Dylan Fairchild at left guard, who was a 3rd-round pick this year, so a rookie making his first start. They've got Ted Karras at center, who's been in the league for a very, very long time, accomplished a couple Super Bowls with New England. They've got Lucas Patrick, who's on his 4th team in the last 5 seasons at right guard. He is not a former undrafted free agent. And then Amarius Mims, who was their first-round pick in 24, is at right tackle. So this is not, in terms of Fairchild and Mims, you've got some limited experience. You've got a guy who, for Dylan Fairchild, that's a tough first game to be out there as a rookie. So this is a line we should be able to get to, and it's a team that you really want to be able to, like I said, force them to have more plays than the more plays, the better, because I think it's just the more opportunities for our defense to do something good.
That's a crazy stat you had on the receivers.
Yeah.
What makes it even more crazy is 3 of the 4 of those cats went to LSU.
Yeah. It was 75 receiving yards per game.
And it was Higgins, Jefferson, Chase, and Thomas.
Yep.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild that's the case. No, this is the best passing offense in football.
I'm surprised
it's not particularly close.
That coming out of LSU, like Brian Thompson, that he was like there should have been people at LSU who were like, no, he's that good.
Yeah, you're right. And the other thing that's really crazy about it is he and Malik would have played with Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a mirror of Burrow with Chase and Jefferson.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that says about Brian Kelly at LSU, that he had all of that talent and they weren't able to. I mean, Burrow and those guys had the best season in the history of college football. Undefeated. Burrow threw for 6,000 yards and 60 touchdowns. Nobody was even really close to him. They just annihilated people. Go look at their run through the postseason. I mean, they beat Oklahoma. They're up on Oklahoma. In my head, it was something like 35-7 at half on Oklahoma with Jalen Hurts in the national semifinal. So what happened with LSU and Jade Daniels when they had those cats?
It's crazy.
And they weren't able to get it done? It's pretty wild. All right, here is your quarterback. It's Joe Flacco. He was asked if going up against quarterbacks like Joe Burrow in that offense changed the way that you prepare.
Listen, I think everybody's a fan, in some respects, so you understand what those guys can do. But at the same time, when you start worrying about things that are out of your control, then you don't really play the way you want to play. So I think for us on the offensive side of the ball, it's just mastering our game plan and mastering the things that we can do to kind of play our role and, do the best we can on our side of the ball. We have a lot of trust on the guys on the other side of the ball, and that's ultimately going to be their challenge.
Look, you trust Joe implicitly in these type of games, but the reality is for Tommy, for Kevin, for Joe, the people at the controls of this offense, it is no doubt in the back of your head, and it is known that you're going to have to score. And it does change your approach when you play a game like this. It does, for sure. 7s versus 3s, all those things. There's no way that it doesn't because they're going to score. As good as our defense is, that offense is going to score points.
Yes.
So I do think it changes. It has to change your approach offensively.
Well, and it goes back to what I said. Browns have won 6 of the last 10, and those games they've averaged 31 points, and they've lost 4 of the last 10, and those games they've averaged 11 points. You've got to score if you want to beat the Cincinnati Bengals. Last time you won without scoring 20-plus points in a game was 2013.
Yeah,
you got to score if you want to beat the Bengals. So that's exactly what they need to do. Not that it changed what you're doing. Obviously, you're playing your own game, but you're playing against a team that you have to understand. Some games, like we can try to slow this one down. We can try to, slug it out. But the reality is you need to play. I just think in games you want to attack weaknesses in other teams. And the biggest weakness of the Cincinnati Bengals team is the defense.
Yeah.
It just is.
Yep.
So you need to attack. I think we need to be in attack mode and go after them. I don't think you have really any other choice.
Defensively, it's going to be a play here or a play there, a third and medium that you get off the field and force a punt, a red zone possession that turns 7 points into 3. That is what this defense's mindset is going to have to be. Now, in terms of the way that this one is perceived, obviously it is a lot of juice on the Cincinnati side of things. Here is Denzel Ward on the national perception of this Cleveland Browns team.
Honestly, I don't really think it matters whether someone ranks us 32 or ranks us number 1. Like, we going out there as the best team that win that day, and that's the goal and that's the focus. So you can't look at all that outside noise and what's going on, where they got you ranked, because, I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't affect how we're going to play come game day.
No, it certainly doesn't at all, and certainly a lot of these veterans are aware of the way that this thing is perceived, and we talked about this yesterday. It's an interesting makeup of this team with these really super veterans, these incredibly accomplished veterans mixed with all of these rookies. Denzel was asked about getting the rookies ready to play defense on Sunday. Here's what he had to say.
Yeah, just pretty much tell them that, it's football, it's the same thing we do out here at practice, just a couple more fans and, a little bit louder. But in my first game, I was nervous. My first game, I remember going against Pittsburgh, home game, but I was excited, though, I was excited, looking forward to playing. I was going against Ben Roethlisberger and Antonio Brown, so, it was a fun atmosphere, and just got to embrace it, really, just embrace the moment and just play your game, that's it.
Humble guy. He had 2 picks in there.
I was just going to say,
which I
hell of an opener for him.
You'll get in my
didn't he
in my
block
interview
a
with him.
PAT or a punt?
He might have. It was an all-time game. Wasn't it rainy?
Yes.
We got our field goal.
Yeah.
Joe Schobert, I'm pretty sure, got a pick.
Yes.
To drive us into field goal range to win it in overtime. and the kick got blocked, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah. But it was a hell of a debut for him. And the crazy thing about him was, like, a lot of our fan base didn't want him. Remember that? Like, they booed the picking of Denzel Ward. Sorry, sometimes I like to just put the ball really high on a tee and just a massively wide fairway for you to hit, maybe a little downslope so you can get a little release.
Yeah. I mean, you lived it on stage. We find people, all they've wanted forever is a Buckeye to get drafted. And everybody was like, we have to get Bradley Chubb, is what everybody was thinking at the time.
Right.
And we take Denzel Ward, who, by the way, has been way better than Bradley Chubb.
Yeah.
No offense to Bradley Chubb. And when people were booing, I'm like, wait a second. We drafted a Buckeye.
Right. At
He's
a premium
really
position. Right.
Now I got booed off the stage in the Muni Lot.
Not only a Buckeye, a Cleveland kid.
I'm just announcing it. Yeah. Like
Cleveland kid.
It's nuts.
You booed him off the stage.
Booed me off the stage.
Booed you off the stage.
Don't shoot the I was just saying. I'm just telling you what it is.
Yeah. He's the best mirror cornerback in the NFL, is what he is.
We took a quarterback and we took a corner from Ohio State.
Yeah.
And I remember him walking in here on draft night after being in the Muni Lot, looking like he'd been beaten down and dragged through the Muni Lot.
What just happened?
And we were like, what?
What? You drafted a quarterback, drafted a corner. Kid's a Buckeye, Clevelander, and he's done all of it. He's done all of it. He's one of the face of the organization now, and he's putting himself – now he's going to have to stack a bunch of years, but he's putting himself in a position to be like a Ring of Honor Browns player. That's what he's done with his career. He's delivered on all of it. All right, we will meet the Cincinnati Bengals coming up next. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily. It's presented by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland.
You guys are down.
They'll join me in the ESPN.
Gibbs, if I remember correctly, today is the day without music.
Browns fans, the Battle of Ohio coming to Huntington Bank Field as your Browns take on the Bengals Sunday. You can be part of it all. Don't miss any of the actions. We kick off the 2025 season. Epic home opener. Secure your seats now at clevelandbrowns.com/Bengals. Time to meet the Cincinnati Bengals. 9-8 a year ago, third in the AFC North. Just missed the postseason. Zach Taylor in his 7th year as head coach in Cincinnati. He is 46-52-1. The Bengals lead the all-time series 55-48. Cincinnati won last time out last December, 24-6 down in Cincinnati. A season ago, they were elite offensively, 9th overall, 30th in rushing. As we mentioned earlier, though, tops in the league in passing, the number 1 passing offense in all of the National Football League. Defensively, they were 25th overall, 19th in rushing, 21 against the pass. Turnover differential was +3. They are an offensive juggernaut. It is the Battle of Ohio. And for more of the details, we turn to Dr. Z.
It's obviously this is an elite offense. They can run it, they can throw it. Their offensive line, though, is an Achilles heel. We mentioned Dylan Fairchild, Lucas Patrick. For those of you who like Pro Football Focus, go check out his grades. I think they are going to be rough at the guard spots. Amarius Mims struggled a little bit as a rookie, gave up 33 pressures and 4 sacks. So this is to me, this is an opportunity for the Cleveland Browns defensive front that has been the story really all offseason to continue that. But this, from a skill standpoint, Burrow last year led the NFL in completions, attempts, yards, touchdowns. He completed 70.6% of his passes for 4,918 yards, 43 touchdowns, 9 picks. Now, he was sacked 48 times last year. He also ran for 201 yards and 2 touchdowns. Burrow is just one of those guys. He's as good as it gets. His 68.6 all completion percentage is the all-time best mark in NFL history.
I didn't know that.
38-30-1 starter, 68.6% completions, 19,001 yards, 140 touchdowns, 46 picks, 101.2 rating, 12 rushing touchdowns. He has, in his career, 26 300-yard games, 7 400-yard games, 1 500-yard game, which was against the Ravens last year, and he's led 6 fourth-quarter comebacks, 9 game-winning drives. He's a 2-time Pro Bowler, 2-time comeback player of the year. Now, here's one of those fun ones. Burrow, 26 300-yard games in his career. The Browns have gone 28 straight games without allowing a 300-yard passer. That is the longest streak in the National Football League. When Burrow throws it, we've already mentioned Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Chase won the Triple Crown last year, 127 catches, 1,708 yards, 17 touchdowns. Higgins was not too shabby in 12 games, 73 catches, 911 yards, a career-high 10 touchdowns. 7 of those touchdowns came from Week 11 to 18, which was the most in the NFL. Ironically, or not ironically, just as an aside, the NFL's leading receiver in terms of yardage from weeks 11 to 18 in the NFL last year was?
T. Higgins.
No, touchdowns. Yards.
Oh, yards.
Also in this game.
Jamar.
But not Jamar. Jerry Jeudy.
Jerry Jeudy.
From week 11 on, led the league in receiving.
Jeudy.
I'm sure buoyed by the 235-yard performance in Denver. Andre Yoshivash.
He's nice, too.
Yeah, career year last year, 36 catches, 479 yards, 6 touchdowns. He's got 3 touchdowns in 4 career games against the Browns. So that's who they're going to be throwing it to. They've got Jermaine Burton, who was their 3rd-round pick a year ago, talented. You probably talked to more people. Like, does he have a chance to do something? Or no?
I think they're kind of like blank or get off the pot, you know?
He's got 4 career catches.
Go be a pro. Go be a pro.
4
That's
catches.
what they're saying down there.
And they went for 107 yards. So there's some talent there.
There's a ton of talent there. But when they draft, if he would have been what they drafted him to be, T. Higgins wouldn't still be here.
Correct.
And he's not. He's not even in the starting rotation. So that's why they were in the circumstances they're in.
When they run it with Chase Brown. They really hit on him, 1,350 total yards and 11 total touchdowns last season. Once he became a starter, he averaged 104.7 total yards per game. In his 10 starts, that was 6th most in the NFL. Against the Browns, he has not yet scored. 53 total yards in the first meeting, 109 total yards in the second meeting. But last year ran for 990 and 7, caught 54 balls for 360 and another 4 touchdowns. They brought back Samaje Perine. This is a team that really didn't do much. They didn't really add a lot of people to this team.
No.
It's very interesting. Samaje Perine back with Cincinnati. Last year really was a non-factor in Kansas City. 20 rushes for 92 yards, 28 catches for 322. He's back, though, with them. And then they drafted Taj Brooks out of Texas Tech in the 6th round, who had over 1,500 yards rushing each of his last 2 years at Texas Tech and 27 combined touchdowns rushing those 2 seasons.
What do you make of their tight end room?
So that's where I'm going now. Interesting. So you got Gesicki, who had 65, 665, and 2 touchdowns last year. Then you bring in Noah Fant. Noah Fant had 48 catches, 500 yards, and a touchdown in Seattle. So I think it's going to give them more 12 personnel versatility because Fant and Gesicki are both guys who can really catch the ball. Now, Drew Sample has kind of been their blocking tight end. This guy last year had 20 catches for 109 yards, 5.5 catch. It's crazy. I don't know. Did he only run stick routes? I don't understand. But, yeah, they've got 5 tight ends on the roster. But I think Fant and Gesicki give them an opportunity to do some like 11 personnel stuff out of 12 personnel, much like we can with David and Fannin, and perhaps that allows them to use more chipping with the tight ends, put them both at wings, and they can help block on the edges and try to give Joe Burrow some time to operate down the field. But the line's the weakness, the skill position's the strength, and Joe Burrow obviously is as good as it gets at that position in the National Football League.
Yeah, it's this is your strength versus strength matchup. Their pass offense versus our defense, our ability to get after the quarterback in the waves, and then can our secondary hold up for as long as they can? And certainly the Denzel matchups you love. Going to take a big one out of Greg on the other side, so we'll see how all of that shakes out. As we take a look at their defense, this is it's interesting how this operation is built. It's built the way we've said, which is quite simply we're going to score 35 and we're banking on your scoring 31 and we're going to win most games that way.
But they're trying. They're trying.
But
listen
they've
to this.
missed on so many picks.
Right.
It's crazy. It's crazy they hit on the ones so big that they hit on that it covers the ones they've missed.
Well, maybe they're good at drafting offensive players.
Skill guys.
So this is whose guys they've drafted that are on their defense, okay? Shamar Stewart was their first-round pick this year. Joseph Osai was their third-round pick in 21. McKinley Jackson's a third-round pick last year at defensive tackle. Chris Jenkins was a second-round pick last year at defensive tackle. Mm-hmm. Miles Murphy was the first-round pick in 23 at defensive end. Logan Wilson, that they actually did hit on, was a third-round pick in 20. Their other linebacker is a second-round pick in this particular draft. They have another linebacker, Barrett Carter, who was a fourth-round pick in this draft.
Yeah.
Go to the secondary. DJ Turner was a second-round pick in 23. Jordan Battle was a third-round pick in 23. Dax Hill's a first-round pick in 22. And Cam Taylor-Britt's a second-round pick in 22.
So all their guys.
They've drafted all those were all first, second, or third rounders that they've drafted in the last 5 years. And Miles Murphy's been a bust so far. I mean, 30 games, 3 sacks. That's not what you're looking for out of a first-round pick. You know, DJ Turner's been solid. Cam Taylor-Britt's been a little more up and down. Dax Hill's been up and down. Jordan Battle, I think, has been solid. But it's really at the line. Chris Jenkins, I think, 3 sacks last year, showed some promise. But it's not from a lack of investment. That is for darn sure. They are definitely investing in that position. If you think about, they're investing in the lines, and the only person that you're really excited about on their team was a guy they signed, which was Trey Hendrickson, because their first-round pick this year is Shamar Stewart. Last year was Amarius Mims, the offensive tackle. The year before that's Miles Murphy. It just hasn't been
Buddy, they've drafted
great.
all those offensive linemen, too, through the years.
Oh, yeah, what's the kid from Billy Price?
Billy Price from Ohio State, the kid from Alabama, the tackle out of Alabama, there's Jackson Carman out of Clemson. I mean, in the second round, they have so many draft picks. But I think it's an illustration for our fans, anybody out there listening, that if you hit on the quarterback and you hit on the weapons, you can miss a lot and still be ultra successful. This is a team, I guarantee you everybody down there feels like they can go try to win a Super Bowl. Get in the postseason, they can try to win a Super Bowl because they hit on Burrow, they hit on Chase, they hit on Higgins, and when you do that, you can miss everywhere else, and it's a Band-Aid. It speaks to the importance of skill positions and quarterbacks, man. it's obvious, but it's real.
It is, but at the same time, is just a slight pushback. The fact that they have not made the playoffs 2 years in a row with those guys is insane.
It is. It's 100%.
Some level of malfeasance.
There's no question. Yeah, you're wasting to miss the playoffs 2 to 3 years with Burrow, Chase, and Higgins. Now Burrow was hurt in one of them, but still, it's crazy that they haven't, and that's why, to me.
And this team doesn't look ready to go back to the Super Bowl.
No, it does
not. The Super Bowl
not.
feels very, very
No, go look at that defensive 2 deep in the Super Bowl against the Rams and see what's kind of happened. That's a big difference to what they are now. And we were talking about Dax Hill then. When they drafted him in the first round, he needed They needed him to be the replacement for Bates.
Yep.
That's why they drafted him, was to be the replacement for Bates. Well, Bates walks, and he ain't Bates.
No, now they're trying him at a nickel corner.
So that's not what they thought he would be. So, no, they're not. But I also think from an organizational standpoint, it's without question the most all-in they've ever been as a franchise. This many chips to the middle of the table. It's as all-in as can be. And I think nationally there's more pressure on Baltimore and Buffalo, for sure. But internally, I think in Cincinnati there is a ton of pressure because Burrow said, I need all these things done, and then they did them. They kept Chase and Higgins and Hendrickson and all of it, and they did it. So now you got to deliver on all of that, and there's going to be a great deal of pressure.
I don't care how bad their defense is. Nobody wants to play them in the playoffs if they're healthy on offense. It doesn't matter. They can do it. There's a lot of pressure, but they are going to be going into games repeatedly where their roster is not as good in the playoffs, where their roster is not as good as people they're playing against.
No, they are going to say, "Hey, Joe, go win it, 42-38," and that's their plan.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of examples of people winning that way, ultimately.
No, it's not easy to do. It's not easy to do. And in fact, we saw it last year for them.
Yeah.
Now you could say, okay, maybe they just beat week 1, they beat the Patriots, and they're there, but they didn't beat the Patriots week 1.
No, and didn't they have a loss late? They got a kind of a run. I'm trying to remember. Did they lose to like a Denver?
They lost to Denver in a crazy game.
Is that the
in
last
a crazy game?
Because everybody points to that Bengals one. I don't. This media guy.
I got it right here. So
I knew there was a game they lost late that it was like,
oh no, they beat Denver.
They beat Denver
in overtime.
What was the one
it
late
went back and forth because Cincy had to keep winning.
They lost 3 in a row. So they started off 0-3. Then they beat Carolina. They lose to Baltimore 41-38.
Yeah.
Beat the Giants, beat the Browns, lose to the Eagles 37-17, beat Vegas, lose to the Ravens 35-34, lose to the Chargers 34-27, lose to the Steelers 44-38. They lost to the Steelers 44-38.
You give up 44
on December 1st.
To that Steelers team?
And then they did not.
To like Russell Wilson?
Yeah. And then they did not lose again. They beat Dallas, Tennessee, the Browns, Denver, and Pittsburgh. So in the Steelers game, Russ goes 29 of 38 for 414 and 3. Najee Harris runs for 75 and a touchdown.
That's the one.
Yeah.
44 to that Pittsburgh operation.
Steelers also got a fumble, a defensive touchdown. I mean, at one point they were up 41-24 with 11 minutes to go.
And the Steelers were?
Yeah. They went 44-38.
Jeez. Yeah. That's the one, though. That's the one that's the attention getter. So there you go. And I promise you, folks, they're looking at the first 2 games of this season and saying, we're starting 2-0. We're in Cleveland, and then we get Jacksonville at home. We're going 2-0, and we're not going to be in the position we were in last season again. One of the principal men in charge of slowing down that offense will be Denzel Ward. He went one-on-one with Z. We will have that for you coming up as we kick off the second hour. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. The Ohio Lottery's new $5 Win Big scratch off for a chance to win $100,000. And if you don't win, just scan that ticket for a second chance to win big. Enter the Big Game Second Chance promotion to win great football prizes, including Cleveland game tickets, even tickets to the biggest football game of the year. And if football is your passion, Win Big is your game, only from the Ohio Lottery. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly. Go to your favorite Ohio Lottery retailer today. Get your hands on the new $5 scratch off. It's called Win Big. You can win $100,000, and if you don't, you can enter to win game tickets and other prizes. Get yours today at your favorite Ohio Lottery retailer, and remember, play responsibly. Now here is Dr. Z with Denzel Ward.
Very happy to be joined by Browns Pro Bowl cornerback Denzel Ward. And Denzel, for us it feels probably like a long time since we've last played a real game. For you guys, does it seem like a long time?
Oh, yeah, it seems like a little bit. We try to treat the practices like games, though. But, yeah, it's definitely going to be a whole type of different atmosphere once we get out there. But it's going to be fun.
Well, we've seen how, season openers are supposed to be handled. Just down the road in Columbus, the Buckeyes took care of business against the number one team in the nation, Texas. Was that did you partake in that? Did you watch it?
Yeah, I checked it out.
Checked it out.
Buckeyes look good. First game, got the win. That's all that matters.
Solid D, right?
Yeah.
Shut down a big-time quarterback.
Exactly, yeah. No, defense look great out there.
And that's what we're hoping for on Sunday, right?
Hey,
Solid D, shut down a big-time quarterback in Joe Burrow.
That is the plan.
What makes him so tough to deal with?
Yeah, he could do it all. He's a great quarterback, great accuracy. We want to sit in there and go through his reads. He got the playmakers on the outside to make the plays once they get the ball to him. But he's just a great NFL quarterback. He's the ideal NFL quarterback.
Is he a guy that, like when you guys encounter each other at a Pro Bowl, does he come try to pick your brain at all?
No, he hasn't tried to pick my brain, but no, we be joking on the field though a lot of the times. Like I said, we went to college together. That was my draft class, so we got a lot of fun times though.
Did you watch the quarterback show at all?
No.
I wonder if guys in the NFL watch any of these shows about people in the NFL. Probably not. You're like, I live it, right?
No,
there was a lot. Obviously, Joe Burrow was one of the stars of it this year. All right. We talked about Joe Burrow. This team, you can't mention it's Joe Burrow, it's Jamar Chase, it's T. Higgins. And now there are two different type of receivers. Let's talk about Jamar Chase. What makes him, last year, won the Triple Crown. That's hard to do.
Yeah.
What makes him so effective and what makes him so, for you, probably so fun? Because this is, I'm at the top of my game, you're at the top of your game, let's go.
Yeah, just like you said, I think that's what makes it the most fun, just both being at the top of our game and just knowing we're going to go in there and compete and, the best guy that day is going to win. He's a great receiver. Get the ball in his hands. He's tough to bring down and able to extend plays and take it the distance.
Do you circle, like, as soon as the schedule comes out, do you look for Cincinnati? Because it's you and Jamar. It's iron sharpening iron. But also, he's the guy you see twice a year guaranteed. So has that become kind of like, is this your favorite matchup in the league?
It's definitely one of my favorite matchups in the league. I wouldn't say I circle it. I try to take things a game at a time.
Sure.
So whoever I see I got that week, I'm excited, whoever that number one matchup is. But, I know it's going to be a battle going against them.
When you have a guy, and you mentioned how he's able to extend after the catch, one of the things I picked up in the quarterback show, so maybe this will be helpful because I thought it was very interesting, is, he scores a lot on the speed out. But on the speed out, it's usually a catch and run, and they do it on purpose. If they feel like the corner's trailing too much, they throw it to the back shoulder so that he can immediately – it's getting him in the spin. And most of those ones that he goes to the house, like the walk-off against Dallas, it's an inside shoulder throw that he spins inside. He doesn't take that speed out to the outside. Like when guys are in that rhythm, they've been together at LSU, they know all that. Those little things, does that kind of encapsulate what makes the NFL so great? Like that it's something that minor that becomes something so major?
Yeah, no, definitely. Those details, I appreciate you sharing that.
That's why I want to make sure you got that.
Go and check that out. But, I hope they throw the ball kind of inside. I would like that because I feel like I could be closer to the ball and, make a play on it. But,
my guess is they're not going to do that against you.
Yeah. I don't see it happening against me. But, it's definitely those details that make the NFL so strategic and great.
So you've got Chase, and then we've got on the other side T. Higgins, big-bodied guy, much different probably stylistically in terms of what you have to do in a coverage. And I think last year you had one of those, they call them teach tape plays, where he ran the vertical on you, last second you get back there, you bat it down. Yeah. What kind of a challenge does he present just from his size and that he is different than Jamar? Yeah,
definitely just a different size player. So just those down-the-field routes and jump ball capability that he has, so being able to play physical with him at the top of the route and like I say, he's good as well once he gets the ball in his hands, but it's definitely those jump balls where it makes him a little bit more different than him and Jamar.
How exciting is it to be in front of the home fans for the opener? We've done well in the openers at home of late, not last year, but 2 years ago against Cincinnati, beat them right there in that building. To get kind of that rush, because that can help a defense, right, in a major way. When you force them to go silent count and maybe it gives Miles a half a step get off, that could be the difference.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be the difference. You know, we gonna need all the fans to come in there and be as loud as possible. You know, it helps us a lot. You know, so looking forward to it being loud come game day.
Where do you feel like this defense is? Because to me, it's been really the story of the whole camp, right? You guys were dominant here in Berea, and especially it starts up front. Then we go to Charlotte, same. Go to Philly, that's the defending Super Bowl champs, same. Rams game, and I realize that was not their starters, but obnoxiously dominant at the beginning of that Rams game. How do you feel about this defense? 2 years ago, you guys were the number one defense. Last year, not at that level. Does this feel like a group that can get back to that standard?
Yeah, I believe so. Like you said, we just got to take it into the regular season. You know, been dominant in the preseason, so it starts game one. And, you know, we're going to work towards our goals and being that number one defense, but we got to take care of the week one.
Hanford Dixon always jokes that, you know, if I wish I had, you know, guys rushing the passer like Denzel's got now and the Browns have now with those guys. What does that really do for a cornerback when you have, you know, Miles and now it's Mason Graham's in there and we're going to get Mike Callback, Malik Collins and Isaiah and Alex are playing well. All of these guys who can Shelby get after the quarterback. How does that help you as a corner when you say, all right, that clock, it has to be sped up?
Yeah, is that the rush helps tremendously. Them being able to put pressure on the quarterback, that ball got to come out a little bit quicker, so you may not have to cover for as long and, you know, just try to have great technique early on in the route and then the down, and then that's where plays come, you know, that's where plays come and can make it happen.
How do you decide when you're going to jump a route or when you're just going to, like, play the technique and just play the route?
I think it's just timing, just getting a feel for the game. I mean, whatever coverage you're in and just kind of seeing the quarterback, seeing his intentions, seeing the receiver's route and what that may be. And it's kind of just like a field thing, and it just happens.
How often would you say when a guy lines up in front of you, do you have a pretty good idea based on the split and the look of what routes they're running?
Yeah, I have a pretty great idea. I done got a great feel for it. I feel going into my eighth year in the NFL. You know, I'm able to kind of retain information pretty well and see pictures and understand what's coming. So it's definitely helpful. But you can't just go out just jumping everything. So you got to play it true sometimes. But it definitely helps.
Is that one of the biggest jumps? Like, say you're in your 8th year, you said now, in the NFL versus, say, even in college or maybe even early in your career? It's just that you've watched so much tape and the emphasis on understanding everything and the information that's probably even provided to you along with your tape study of from these splits they do this and be able to know that. Is that one of the biggest differences as you become more of a veteran?
Yeah, I would say so. That was my biggest jump. Early on, I was just playing, you know, trying to play fast, play hard and everything. But now I feel like I have a great understanding of the game and routes and plays that are coming. So, yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't you have 2 picks in the first game?
Yeah. That was me playing fast and playing hard, man.
We'll just stick with that then. That's
right.
that's gonna work right there. All right, if there's one thing you want to let the fans know going into the home opener here, Browns, Bengals, what is it?
Man, just come loud, man. We need the fans to be loud, but we're going in and try to fight to get that week 1 dub.
All right, Denzel, always a pleasure. Good luck on Sunday.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. Z and Denzel. The opener is a couple of days away on Sunday. And join Z and Gerard Thursday night, 7 to 8, Kevin Stefanski Show, live from local bar in Strongsville. Register to win Bud Light merchandise, Browns gear, and meet Browns cornerback Greg Newsome. It's all brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. It's week 1. Coming up next, he'll attempt to guess the scores.
It's tough
baby.
early. Tough
early.
It's
so tough early.
Love it.
So
There we
tough.
go.
We have that to look forward to, which is nice. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily. It's presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. The Browns head to Vegas this November. You can be part of the action through the Browns Takeovers, powered by True Fan Travel. Head to browns.com/takeovers to book today, and you'll receive a 3-night hotel stay, opportunity to hang with Browns alumni Christian Kirksey, Kevin Mack, a ticket to the game, and an all-inclusive pregame tailgate. Visit clevelandbrowns.com/takeovers to learn more. Let's take over Vegas in 2025. Time for a little segment we like to call Guess the Scores, starring Dr. Z.
I'm nervous. Early in the season, it's hard because you really don't know. So I wonder if they're going to be a little more kind of like on the main numbers. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm going to go for because they don't know as well. I'm hoping it's going to be pretty standard fare here.
Before you start,
give a
4:15, and we have an injury report. Joel Bitonio rest. Diabate with a quad limited. Hall, obviously, a DNP with that knee. Shelby Harris with an illness was limited. Lucas with an ankle full. Posick with a knee limited. Cedric Tillman with that thumb is a full participant. 2 more limiteds, Denzel with a shoulder and Blake Whiteheart with a knee. The Bengals, no injuries to report.
Just flying high in here, aren't they?
They
all
are
slicked up and ready to go.
Yep.
Shout out to our guy Matt, who is loyal listener, and he actually lives in Brunswick, works in Dublin, so he's got that double. So that's a little bit of a commute for him. So we'll enjoy my obligations in the morning, and now he's able to enjoy his obligations on the way home.
Love it.
So he gets us. It works out perfect.
Double
for him.
dip.
He's very happy. Yeah.
What's better than 1 Bo Bishop, 2 Bo Bishops?
He says you guys make the ride much more enjoyable. Well, we're glad to help, buddy.
Yes.
Drive safe on those roads and watch out for the Ohio Highway Patrol. You know where they are.
Force this weekend.
They were.
Whew.
They were. I didn't see anything from an egregious standpoint in terms of pulling people over. It was egregiously over is what I was noticing.
Yes.
Egregiously over. So they were doing a great job. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Thursday night football. The Cowboys of Dallas, the Eagles of Philly, Tarico Collinsworth, Melissa Stark on Thursday night football.
I love that this is NBC, by the way, too. That NBC gets to kick it off.
Yeah.
Philly.
What's a win in this, by the way? Is it within a half point or a point?
Let's start generously with a point.
A point difference?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then if we get on too many of the heaters, then we'll tighten it up as the season goes on.
We'll have to tighten it up once we get a feel. But week one, the committee is fine. The rules committee is fine with a point difference in the first week.
All right. Philly minus 6.5.
That would be incorrect.
Perfect.
Philly minus 8.5. That's robust.
That's big.
That's a lot. By the way, the Cowboys' offense still pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah, they're going to score.
Yeah.
They're going to score. That's just a big number. We have a Friday night game. Your gift for losing the Super Bowl, Kansas City, a trip to Sao Paulo.
Gross.
To take on the L.A. Chargers. Folks, this is a YouTube-only game. On the call, Eisen, Warner, Stacey Dales, and I don't know who Donald Destroying Delahaye is, but he's on it.
He's destroying.
Hold on, the G-Man knows.
Of course he does.
He's like a kicker YouTuber influencer. Kicker YouTuber influencer.
Yeah, that's correct.
Somehow he's on an NFL game call. That's where we're at.
Hey, come on. Hey, that's a good
missed
idea.
A lot of kicks in the UFL.
Torrible.
Perfect.
In the words of Bootsy,
Torrible. It's torrible. Chiefs minus 4.
Got it. Chiefs minus 3.5. All right, we're in the Sunday slate. We begin in Foxborough. The Raiders at the Patriots.
Hold on. Did he get the last one? Sorry.
Yes,
we're
I did.
1-1.
Yes, I did.
He got the last one.
Good job.
Good
job. Sorry.
You got it. Yep. Try and keep up, Gibby.
No.
I know.
The
Listen,
YouTube chat
excuses
on
and
occasion
stuff,
gets flooded with bots. So
Bots?
I'm not kidding. So
Get him
we're
that.
being hacked again.
Oh, lovely. Pats, Raiders.
Raiders minus 2.
Incorrect. Patriots minus 2.5. Vrabel. May.
Wow.
Stephon Diggs.
2.5.
Aren't there better players on the Raiders roster?
2.5. That's bullish on New England.
Bullish on the
very bullish.
The Pats. Yeah.
All right. The dual revenge game. Steelers and quarterback Aaron Rodgers in New York against the Jets and quarterback Justin Fields.
It's the CBS team now of Iron Eagle, J.J. Watt and Evan Washburn.
So this is their 2 team, right?
Yeah.
This feels to me like this is going to be the Steelers. The Steelers
Okay.
-4.
That is incorrect. Steelers -2.5. Steelers -2.5.
Wow, I think the Steelers are interesting.
Dolphins.
That's an attention getter,
Dolphins.
as you like to say.
Well, Buford T. Justice said it first and much better.
I don't
Dolphins at Indy.
Dolphins
at Indy. Andrew Catalon.
Charles
Davis on this crew. Didn't he used to be?
Yes, he was with the Eagle, but now he's going to do the college, but not for a year. So then they wanted
that's
to make,
right. That's right.
It's a little ridiculous.
I don't like it.
Indy -2.
Got it. Indy -1.5. It's a big game for Miami.
Yeah, so I'm 2-3 right now.
Yeah, you're off to a 2-3 start. You're fine. Bengals at Browns. Bengals at Browns.
Browns +5.5.
Got it. On the dot. G-Men at Commies. G-Men at Commies. This is a
This
Kevin
has
Burkhardt,
potential for an
Tom
inmate
Brady,
game of the week.
Aaron Andrews, Tom Rinaldi, A-Team Fox.
That is crazy that that's
the way,
the A game.
I was thinking about this. So Fox's has Rinaldi does Big Noon. So he'll be at, because it's Iowa State, Iowa this week. So he'll be there, and then he's going to have to book it to our nation's capital.
I think Bucks Falcons is a better game than Giants Commanders.
You always take that. I'm with you, but you always take that NFC East if you can get it.
Yep.
Giants, Commies. 3-3.
Commies -7.5.
Ding, ding, ding. It was 6.5, baby.
Ding, ding, ding. We need that as a gift.
Let's go. Let's go.
Ding, ding, ding. 4-3. Okay, here
4
we
and
go.
3, 500, little bit of momentum.
Here we go.
This is the inmate game. Well, no, there's another one further down.
No, just wait. Give it time, Gibby.
There's some real dogs.
Battle of Cats. Panthers. Jaguars. Jacksonville. Myers. Schlereth. Jen Hale on the call.
Jags -3.
Got it. Jags -3.5.
Hey,
What a
G-Man,
momentum swing
don't
out of
hype
you.
him up.
He's
like, we're rolling now. I'm like, hey.
Yeah, that's right.
Enough.
He's your little apprentice, but now he's in the
G-Man.
mix.
No,
Maybe
he's
the
not.
truth comes out. Truth comes out for the G-Man.
G-Man knows where it
lost all control.
What do they do with Travis Hunter?
So he's listed on their depth chart again. Now that we know these depth charts are absurd and not valid, but as a starting receiver and a backup corner. So I think he's going to play receiver, and we'll find out. Dan Graziano, by the way, congrats to him. Who was with us yesterday, got his contract
him
renewed.
and Sal Pal.
Mm-hmm. Two OGs there.
Sal Pal's an OG.
Yeah, I mean it's like Sal Pal, Ed Werder,
but Werder's gone.
Yeah, is he not there anymore?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah, those two are there.
He's prominent in the Americas team.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yeah. Well, was it him and the? It was the other guy that broke it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they broke the Jerry.
Yeah, they were sitting there.
I'm going to fire that.
Yeah, he told him.
Stick around.
Stick around. Yeah.
Stick around. Some fireworks coming.
Okay.
And boy, did they. All right. So, 5-3 for the kid right now.
Yeah, we're in a good spot.
All right. NFC South.
Long way to go.
Showdown. Buccaneers at Falcons. Buccaneers at Falcons.
By the way, I like Kenny Albert. I feel bad that he's got to be paired with Jonathan Vilma every year.
Yeah,
Vilma's awful.
I'd imagine if he to me it feels like Kenny Albert's got enough call or cachet to be like, hey,
he'd call on Friday,
call on yesterday, call today, and I'll have call tomorrow.
So good, so good.
Bucks
at Falcons.
Bucks. I feel like they're a little bit of a darling right now. Bucks 2.5.
Got it.
Yeah, starting to see it. I'm starting to see it.
Now you're seeing what they're doing.
Yep. Starting to see it.
Arizona at New Orleans.
McCarthy.
This is Tom McCarthy, your guy.
Ross Tucker.
We get Tom McCarthy next week.
A Logan Riley and a Tiffany
We
Blackman.
get Tom McCarthy. He does a lot of Ravens games for us. Last time Tom McCarthy was on the call in Baltimore, we won.
That's right.
Deshaun Watson led an epic comeback and then was injured. And
we mentioned that game a lot.
Time.
That is one of the great inflection points, I feel like, in this
really
series, in this franchise's history.
Yeah.
Hell
of a sliding doors right there.
Cardinals.
Cardinals at Saints. A Kyler Murray versus a Spencer Rattler.
Cardinals -6.
Got it.
Oh, baby.
That's 6.5.
Oh, that's a tough one, too. Nailed it.
Got it. Ding, 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 ding for the kid. Give him it.
Let's go.
All right. 4 o'clock afternoon window.
Wasn't I 1-3?
You were 1-3.
Yeah, that's 6 in a row by my math.
You're humming now, baby. We're going to have to get back to that half point.
Not yet. Hold on.
The Fighting Pedros at the Fighting Darnolds.
Your father's going to be here for this game.
Oh. Yeah. He's going to be.
Yes. No, he's coming
in 24
in
hours. 24 hours,
tomorrow.
he will be here.
Woo! Celebrity picker on Friday?
Think about that moment.
See if we can get him in
where
here.
you got you got Pedro, you, El Boods, and Little Z.
Yeah, Luca. Yeah, that's right. That'll be a picture that will be taken.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
That's very good.
Niners.
Just have Pedro sit out of it.
Niners. We have that picture already. We have that picture already.
I don't know what happened, Dad.
Yeah, weird.
I don't know what happened.
We
have that picture already. Niners and Seahawks.
Niners -3. I don't feel confident with that one.
You got it. It's Niners -2.5.
Oh,
that 2.5 number. Oh, a ding ding. I like it.
So they're near it. And actually, the ones I've gotten, I think, with the exception of one, have all been within a half point.
All been within a half point. And the one thing we're seeing here is 2.5 is a darling.
Yeah.
It's an absolute darling. All right. Titans at Broncos.
Denver -7.5.
Got it. It's 8.5, though. It's 8.5.
So I went 7.5. I didn't think it'd be 9.
Another ding ding.
We're at 9 and 3.
Give
me awful quiet. Awful quiet back there.
Just killing it.
Hey,
absolutely.
It's a hell of a rally.
Kid had a hell of a
Gabe,
rally.
I will have you scrubbing toilets by the end of the day if you continue with this.
G-Man.
No.
Oh my
no,
God.
you will not.
The G-Man.
You will not.
Your staunchest supporter, Gibby.
Yes. No
You're
way.
turning week 1.
Wow.
All right. Lions at Packers. This is your America's Game of the Week. This is your Nance Romo Wolfson
on CBS.
Line. It is on
By
CBS.
the way, they should have made Texans Rams. I know obviously it has to be a 4, but
I think they're both could have been A games, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think that's Texans Rams would be the best game, and they can't do it. Maybe they could do Lions Packers in the 1 o'clock window. That would have been the best game in the 1 o'clock window,
You
right?
could totally do Lions Packers in the 1 o'clock.
That's what they should have done, and then Texans Rams.
I think they were looking for my get. Just looking at the way the NFL set up Week 1 with all their television partners, they basically gave every window a headliner.
Yeah, but
I mean, you're starting Dallas, Philly, then you go Kansas City, Chargers. Then in the 1 o'clock window, your gift to Fox is Giants Commies. It's NFC East, and it's Jaden.
Wouldn't you rather have Texas Rams?
I don't think you would from a rating standpoint,
No?
bud. I think G-Men and Commies.
That's the New York.
That's
DC
New York,
market.
DC, and you get.
Right.
And I think there's some juice around the Giants with Neighbors and eventually Jackson Dart and then Daniels. So I think, and then in the afternoon window, I mean, Lions Packers is standing on its own, and then obviously Sunday night and Monday night are just complete bangers. So
I'm going to take
Lions at Packers.
I'm actually going to take the Packers here.
Okay,
-2.
Well, you got it because it's Packers -2.5. You haven't missed one in like 8. There it is. There's your ding.
Yes.
Texans. We finished the 4 o'clock slate. Texans. You've already clinched, by the way, winning record. You've crushed it. Texans at Rams. Harlan Green, Melanie Collins on the call on CBS, and this is a good one. It's not nothing. You do thing or not a thing. It's definitely a thing. What's going on with Stafford?
I think so.
I mean, he's in. There was a report over the weekend. He's in traction. Like, it's a thing. It's definitely a thing, and
It
they
would
have
make me
Garoppolo.
nervous.
I get it. I mean, they
Yeah,
but
except their new star wide receiver hates Garoppolo.
right.
Yes, he does.
So I don't know. I was really bullish on them, but a whole 6 weeks of Matt Stafford doing nothing doesn't please me if I'm from the Rams' perspective.
No.
So Texans at Ramit.
I think it's going to be – I think the Rams are still going to be favored, but this feels like another one of those 2.5. So I'll go Rams. I'm going to go 2, though. Rams 2.
So it's a more robust 3.5. So your streak of wins ends.
gone
but
2.5.
just barely. Oh, you hate to see it. Hate to see it. Let's not make a habit out of that sound.
No.
I mean,
How about we just –
Gibby's not at the
I
controls
prefer the
back
Bo
home,
Bishop
Kev.
natural sound.
Yeah,
Like we can't-
ding,
we can't-
ding, ding. That was my favorite.
We got to encourage the kid.
Yeah.
All right, Sunday Night Football. It's everything you'd want. Sunday Night Football to be Week 1. It's Ravens and Bills, the two most
Bills -3.
pressure-packed teams in the NFL. You get that one wrong. It is Bills -1.5. Just 1.5
They
for
don't
the
even
Buffalo
get the-
Bills.
that's
They don't even
surprising.
get the full boat on it.
I should have said 2.5, but I was certain that one was going to be 3.
It is. That's a fun one.
Yep.
Tirico, Collinsworth, and Stark on the call on that one. Tirico's doing double duty.
I'm going to
Sure
end on
is.
I'm going to end on a low note here because I don't even know who's going to be favored in this Monday night.
Vikings at Bears.
Vikings -2.
You got it. It's 1.5. Vikings -1.5. I'm
11-5.
gonna tell you something. There are great job out of you. Now that he's out of his vehicle, folks, let him hear you.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel like if it was 2:30, I'd really be like, yeah.
Well, if it was 2:30, we'd be saying the next level's next.
Yeah.
That's how that would go.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something. There is a massive game in every window.
Yep.
And I'm not suggesting that this is the game I'm most looking forward to, but a game I'm really excited about and curious about is Vikings Bears. Johnson with Caleb and all those weapons.
And J.J. McCarthy.
And then J.J. McCarthy. And the thing that I keep coming back to with J.J. McCarthy is they must believe in him entirely because they didn't go get anybody else. And there were quarterbacks in the market that they could have brought back Cousins potentially. There's all sorts of things they could have done. Didn't bring back Darnold. They drafted him first round. He's coming off an injury, and they're good. They're good. So Kwesi's not an idiot. That tells me that they like him and feel like he can handle all of it.
KOC's
and he's a baller,
big time guy.
Now the thing that's interesting with them is the Addison with the suspension. And then JJ with the hammy that's been bugging him kind of all camp would be a little bit of concern. A lot of pressure on Caleb in Chicago in that one. So that's fun. That's a Monday nighter. Typically, by the time people waiting all day for Sunday night, I'm not. I'm footballed out by the time I get to Sunday night.
This one I'm in.
This one I'm in.
Beef soup.
And this Monday,
Pedro.
This Monday,
Bills.
Are you doing beef soup
Ravens?
for him?
Yeah, got to do it.
What are you going to wine pair with that?
That'll be
Nice
I believe
screen
the right side of the shelf.
He's asked for that one to be paired with some of the Roan Rangers, as they know the formidable folks down in Paso Robles.
Monday night's the left side of the wine rack.
No, Monday night I've already pitched him on a detox salad, and just let's calm it down after we go through the
flowed through the wine.
what you've want. Yeah, the Friday, Saturday, Sunday lineup, which is quite formidable.
All right, there you go. That's a great job out of you. Unbelievable to drop a. Was that a 10-5?
11-5.
No, 11-5. 11-5
done,
stretch for you
well
out
done.
of the gates. That's a great job. We'll tap into the college football over the weekend with 4 big downs with college football date and merely Uncle Bo. That's coming up next. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. OBM, the preferred provider of copiers and document services for your Cleveland Browns. Tackle any size office at 216-485-2000 or visit ohiobusinessmachines.com. Well, it's back. It's a segment that swept the nation. We've had many segments that have swept the nation, and this is something that there is a demand for of great amounts, and it is indeed College Football Nate.
Yeah, baby.
He's back for 4 downs.
I love this segment.
College Football Nate returns.
Here we go. I'm ready. I feel really more
pretty
dialed
locked in.
Yeah.
Even more so consumed.
Like Saturday, they're like, let's go tubing. Listen, no. College football's back.
College football's
Don't talk
back.
to me.
I'm in. Leave me alone.
Nan.
All right, Kevin, go ahead.
Hit it, Kev.
First down.
Let's discuss the Ohio State-Texas game. Are you worried about how Arch Manning looked, or should we expect growing pains? Part one of this.
I'm not worried about it. I think that, years going right there. It's the first game of the year. He's going against a former NFL defensive coordinator that was able to put out a lot of things, a lot of disguises, and things maybe I'm guarantee some unscouted looks. And he looked like a guy who was making, his first kind of big-time start. How he responds to that will be very telling. It is. By the way, what a world we live in now where you can have a performance like that, and then you go on social media, it's just memes and jokes about you and how much you stink and nonstop.
Which, by the way, he was not dreadful. He made 2 throws in the fourth quarter. The touchdown throw was money, and he made a throw on the left sideline, the far sideline, that was threading a needle in an NFL
one in the
throw.
Back right where they went for it on a fourth down where he threw it at the corner, and the ball couldn't have been thrown any better. The guy just didn't catch it.
No, and it's like here's what Ohio State has: a safety in Caleb Downs, who's going to be the first safety off the board next year, who is essentially a college football Ed Reed. That's what he is. That's what he does for Ohio State defensively. And then they have 2 linebackers in Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese. Sonny Styles, Pick North kid. Arvell Reese, a Glenville kid. 2 Ohio kids who are massive humans who run like the wind, who hit in a big way. Elite athletes, but also all 3 of those guys are brilliant mentally. And so what Matt Patricia was able to do with those 3 is provide a ton of false fronts where it looked like pressure was coming for Arch, but it didn't. A lot of times it would look like it was all man over the top, bracketed on the outside, and they would drop into zones.
Yep.
So, they had one where Arvell faked a rush, so he came up like he was going to rush. Then he acted like he was going to peel. He kind of half-turned, and then he blitzed. And as soon as he half-turned, the guard went over to help the tackle on the D end. It was Patricia in his bag in the biggest way possible. Sark didn't see it coming. Arch didn't see it coming, and they just had his head in a pretzel the whole game.
Yep.
No, he's not a bum based off of – that's ridiculous off of one game.
Agreed.
That might be the best back 7 in college football.
Yes.
And there's NFL players all over the back end of that Buckeye roster.
Give me one word to describe Julian Sand.
Elite. Unflappable. He did not make a single throw that was not accurate. Not one of 20. I think he was 13 of 20 in the game. Not one that was inaccurate. Didn't take a sack. Didn't turn it over. He could have taken a lot more than they gave him. No, they're in very good hands with that kid.
Segura?
Promising.
Oh, baby.
Promising. I liked what I saw.
Fact or fiction, the 2025 Buckeyes defense will be better than the 2024 Buckeye defense.
How many guys were drafted off of that
8.
defense? Yeah, I think it's going to be hard to say better, but that was certainly a very, very good start.
I tend to think you're probably right. I do think that this one could wreak more havoc because I think that Patricia, unlike Knowles, who is very set in it's my way, this is how we're doing it, Patricia's approach is going to be much more NFL style, like game plan for the opponent. So it's not like this is the Buckeye defense. It's more like this is what we're going to do because this is the weakness of this team.
So we had a conversation yesterday. We actually looked up Bo Bishop's morning gig a few months earlier when we were looking this up, and you had a conversation. But Mike Renner just put out his first mock draft.
Yeah.
And he has us – I don't even want to talk about who he had us taking at number 1.
Okay.
But at number 11, he had us taking Caleb Downs.
Oh, God.
And G-Man was like,
I've been talking about that. College football Nate's been talking about that.
There's no way he's going to drop. I go, when was the last safety to go in the top 10? We Googled, and you came up from a few months earlier. You had this exact same discussion. There's only been 2 safeties taken in the top 10 in the last 25 years.
Who?
was Sean Taylor and Eric Berry.
Oh, Berry.
Eric Berry in Kansas City.
That was
I
it.
interviewed him right after that draft.
Yeah, and he's got Eric Berry, Ed Reed vibes.
Okay.
Caleb Downs
I'll sign
does.
up.
Yeah. I don't think he'll get to 11.
He's a guy. Go back to. I've been wanting him for forever.
He's so smart.
Yeah.
Like the stuff that he can do. They did a thing where they did like a clockwise. It happens in the NFL, but I've never seen it in college, where the corner safety, like everybody at snap, rotated clockwise. So the corner went like that, right, to make sense. So the DN went to the flat. Everybody rotated clockwise.
Yeah.
And Caleb Downs, who was on this side in the slot covering a guy man,
ended up
passed
in
it
single
off
high
to this safety over here, and then he went to single high. But, like, you don't do that in college football.
No, that's NFL. That's NFL stuff. That's what Patricia's going to bring to them.
Next.
Second down.
How hot is the seat of Alabama head coach Kalen DeBoer? After
like
that fine
1
effort
million
against Forest.
Carolina Reapers. They're not going to tolerate this down there. I don't know if they're going to be able to do anything about it, but they're not going to tolerate. Alabama was embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
It's embarrassing. This is not the Crimson Tide. They are not going to stand for this. I don't know. Unless it turns around quickly. Like at the end of the year, if they are not in the playoff, let's say.
Yeah.
Good night, Irene. See ya.
So you're exactly right. The seat could not be hotter, but there is one issue, and that is a $70 million contract. Jeez. And they cannot write this ticket for that buyout. So they've got to rally behind him. But it was as pathetic a display for that type of talent. Because people will say, well, they don't have the talent that they had under Saban. Yes, they do. They actually have the second highest percentage of 5 stars in all of college football is at Alabama. And they got pushed around and punched in the mouth, and that's coaching, that's attitude. They didn't have it. They were soft. So, yeah, it's hot, but I don't know that there's much they can do about it.
By the way, the favorite in Vegas, should he get fired? Tommy Rees.
Okay, they're not hiring – I love Tommy. They are not hiring Tommy Rees to be the head coach at Alabama.
I don't know.
I know. I'm just saying, like –
I'm just going off.
You can't live in a – I know you're right. He is the favorite. But I'm just saying, like, if you go move off of DeBoer, then the only way you do that is for Lanning or something like that. And the problem is, so it's going to be $70 million to buy out DeBoer, and then if you hire a Lanning type, and this may be why Tommy would be the favorite, that's going to be another $100 million contract. They don't have it. They don't have oil money in Alabama.
Correct.
They don't have it. It's a different world.
Next.
Third down.
Fact or fiction? I like this one. Carson Beck will have a better season at Miami this year than Cam Ward did last year.
Define better.
I think I can give you how this is going to go.
Okay.
If do you mind if I take the lead on this one, college football, Nate, with your permission?
No, please.
Statistically, he will be less, but they'll win more.
Miami's pretty good this
Miami's going to win more, but statistically, he won't match Ward's numbers statistically.
That's what I'm saying.
But they'll make they are a legit playoff team.
They are.
Yeah. I want definition. Yeah. The definition is you're saying that he will be as productive as Cam Ward, or is the definition that they
will be as productive as Cam Ward?
Just on his numbers. No, he will not. He will not.
Next.
Cam Ward really didn't have all that much talent around him.
No, he was extraordinary last year.
Pretty sure Elijah Arroyo is the only one of his skill position players that
was drafted.
They were the last two out, if I recall. They missed the playoff. They were one of the two teams that a lot of people said should have made.
They had a loss at the end of last year.
Yeah.
Maybe to Syracuse. With Kyle McCord.
Yep.
That loss and Alabama's loss to Oklahoma were, of course. Oh, he went to Syracuse?
He did.
I did not know.
4th down. I'm waiting on a text.
Fourth down.
Buying or selling the following teams after week 1 of college football. The Clemson Tigers. By the way, where's Will Scarlett this week?
Oh, I saw him. I gave him an L earlier. Just as he walked by, we just hit him with that the whole way.
I'm selling for his association and affiliation there. Since he's become a big talker about that program, it is like downhill.
Down.
Sell.
Notre Dame.
Buy. Well coached.
Mm-hmm.
Solid team. They played a tough opener. I mean, it was a tough opener. Tough. It was a very good game.
LSU.
I'm going to buy the talent of the kids that are there, but sell the team. Brian Kelly's just
a buffoon.
Not good.
Did you see him going back at Dabo?
Yeah.
Then
he I'm a tough grader or something, talking about 52s, and they got a 66 or
so
this,
great.
That, what I like.
It's so great. College football's so great.
I'll throw you in one more.
I love it.
North Carolina.
Sell. I mean, we've been selling it.
Knew that.
We couldn't have sold if.
I would be quite honestly shocked if Clemson, Notre Dame, and LSU aren't in the playoff. All of them. I think Clemson will get in. They'll be fine. Notre Dame.
I thought CJ might be a little better this year.
Well, yeah, Notre Dame's basically in the ACC because they play 5 of those games. So, yeah, I mean, I think Clemson will be fine. Notre Dame, I loved what CJ Carr did. I thought he was really good for his first start. And then and LSU's legit as legit can be, but easy to root against because of the coach. So I think all those teams will be fine.
Final one. Who's your pick to win the 2026 national championship right now? Nate. College football, Nate.
The Ohio State University back-to-back for the Bucks.
Yeah, I mean, we just don't.
Correct.
It's just crazy,
but
we
like
look, their defense is really good. Offensively, I think they're going to be a whole lot to handle by the time you get to the end of the year. So, yeah, I think Ohio State's in the mix. And the SEC team, I mean, these Big Ten teams, Penn State, watch out for Oregon. They're all going to be in the mix. You could have Big Ten. You could have a situation where Ohio State plays Penn State 3 times. It's not impossible.
I also like South Carolina out of the SEC. I thought they're an interesting one to watch.
They are. Their quarterback. They had a great first drive, but then they lose their way a little bit offensively.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean I'll tell you one to watch. Oklahoma with Johnny Mateer at quarterback. They get Michigan this week. That Bryce Underwood kid looked awesome. So that is a fun matchup for this week. So there you go.
If Penn State wins the national championship, is Drew Aller the number 1 pick in the draft?
If they win the national championship, he will have had a great season.
Yes.
And so then it feels like that will be the case.
Okay.
But for him, he has 2 games in the regular season. He's got a night game in Happy Valley at the end of September against Oregon, and he's got the Ohio State game on November 1st. Because there was all that momentum for him, great Medina kid, all this momentum for him, and then they played Notre Dame in the semifinal. Everybody went, oh, because he played SMU and he played Boise State.
Yep.
So he's going to be judged on Oregon, and he's going to be judged on Ohio State. Those are the 2 games that he's going to be judged on. Because the rest of their schedule, there's just not enough there.
Gentlemen, thank you very much.
They'll dominate.
There you go. So much more to come. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns on 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, kids, a reminder, join Ken and Gerard tonight, Cleveland Browns preview show all across University Hospitals, Cleveland Browns Radio Network, 7 to 8. Browns rookie Mason Graham, play-by-play voice. Andrew Siciliano join the guys as they get you ready for Week 1 with the Cincinnati Bengals. That'll do it for us. ESPN Radio.
Let's go.
Coming up next. Thanks for listening, buddy. Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns on 850 ESPN Cleveland.